Good evening, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome. We are here at the Sky Lounge in Washington, up in the northeast of England, and this is an appetizer. There's a smorgasbord of pool this weekend, and this is your amuse-bouche. What a way to start a weekend of pool. Gav Robinson versus Tom Cousins. A race to 25. Gav Robinson starts on +5. Tom Cousins with all the work to do at the start of the match. Looking down the barrel of a 5-0 deficit to start with. And what an interesting matchup this is. On paper you would say that Tom is the favourite, but Tom has not had the best of seasons. It's going to be really interesting to see what he can produce today. Gavin, of course, playing from his home club, on his home table, and they're playing on the Simonis 861 cloth. Who will that suit? Got to suit Gav more, surely. Can that play a part into the game today? Well, we will see. All to play for. And this, as I say, is an appetizer for what's to come this weekend. And when I say what's to come this weekend, we have a clash of the Titans tomorrow between Mark Boyle and Mark Farnsworth. Mark Farnsworth playing out of his home club. We'll talk more about that as the day goes on. For now, let's focus on this game. Gav Robinson versus Tom Cousins. Tom wins the lag. Tom gets the frame underway. Has a little unlucky kick to start with and just pushes up towards that top right pocket. And he's had to play a little containing shot, but Gav will be happy to get his hand on the table early doors. These two have just been having a warm-up on the table and both have been potting them off the lampshades. So this club on a Friday evening already starting to bounce. Tomorrow there's a huge crowd expected and could be one of the money matches of the decade. Promises on paper to be an absolute classic. So obviously this match is being streamed. This match is completely free of charge tonight. We're streaming on YouTube, but only the first 3 frames. We're going to switch over to the Beard Productions streaming platform, which is beardproductionsppv.com. So do head across there. It'll just take you a couple of minutes. It's free of charge, as I say, but you just need to sign up with your details to that page and then log into your account, and you will be able to watch this match free of charge tonight. Tomorrow is a PPV game, but for tonight it's free of charge. So just the first 3 frames on YouTube. So make sure you do head across to beardproductionsppv.com and sign up an account, register an account and log in, and you will be able to watch the rest of this match. As I say, there's no cost whatsoever. It's a nice little developing shot there. So, table's now there for Gav. And now suddenly this is a fantastic shot. That little shot just to develop the difficult yellow that was on the bulk line has opened up everything for him, and this game was always going to be very much about the start of the match. If Gav gets off to a flyer, he could easily leave Tom behind. 5-0 starts of funny old things. 5-0 quickly turns into 8-0, and Tom staring down the barrel. So let's see how it plays out. It's a nice shot to hold the cue ball on the top half of the table. Just drop this yellow, run the cue ball through, and should be fairly plain sailing from here. Ideally, you'd like to get fairly straight on the final yellow, just to play the 8 ball into the left middle. But if he finishes with an angle, he's still got options. Just taking his time. He knows how important these early frames are. Yeah, I think that angle's okay. He can just top this through with a trace of running side. There you go, he's just showing you where he wants to be. Just top this with a trace of left-hand side. Backs the cue ball off the bottom cushion. Very nice. This is the start that Gav Robinson had planned before he came into this match. Not much Tom could do. He didn't have a chance at an opener. This is a big frame with Tom breaking on the first frame and going. And that little issue is given an early break to Gavin. So Gavin Robinson, aged 33 years of age, hometown's Coomben. Plays from the Sky Lounge, as we say. Plays with a niche cue with an 8.4mm tip. And cites his greatest achievement as IPA World Doubles runner-up. But Gav is well tried and tested. Played a great amount of money matches. Played Ian Alley recently in a big game. And also played John McAllister in a race to 21, where the match was over in about an hour and a half. Gav beat John, I think, 21-8. Not so long ago. So when Gav buzzes, he can be a real handful. And as I say, the perfect start for him. Breaks off in frame 2. And the table not without its problems. So obviously the red and the yellow tied up on the right hand side just below that middle pocket. I think he may have an angle on the red to middle just to follow through and get the yellow out of the way, and then I think that's what he's going to play, and then maybe exactly that shot, and then the red to the top left. So he's going to have a couple of tough shots here, but that one shot, quite a lot of the hard work's already done. Still not a great table, but I think he can take the 2 at the top of it. He may just have slightly the wrong angle. If he was straighter here, he could play the one to top left and run the cue ball through to take the other ball at the bottom of the table. He wants to get that ball off the table early because it's a stray ball. It doesn't really link. Good confidence from Gav. Leaving himself this tester. Very good early signs from Gav Robinson. He's cueing the ball really well. He's going to have a real tester here, though. If he can drop this ball along the top cushion, then the frame is very much at his mercy. This is the key to the frame. Tough little shot, this. Hard to judge. And the good thing about this shot, he doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball. Cue ball naturally drifts back down the middle of the table, guaranteed to be on one of the final balls. That is a very, very confident shot. And this is very quickly going to be 7-0. I've got to say, Gav looks dialed in. Looks like he's in the zone. That's two very impressive clearances, you have to say. So, a reverse clearance followed by a breaking clearance from Gav Robinson sees him now pull out a 7-frame lead. You always knew the start was going to be crucial. So already Tom Cousins will be feeling a little bit of pressure. It's only a couple of frames, but even so, he knows he needs to stamp his authority on this game. Race to 25. Still plenty of time, and again that cue ball kicked up towards that top cushion, and that last little nudge has left this horrible. I think without that nudge, he had the yellow along that top cushion, but it's just stuck in behind the knuckle. He does have an opener to middle, but horrible. This is not the way you want to be opening your account. And it was such a nice break. He cued it beautifully. Cue ball straight back up the middle of the table. But again, it got kicked up towards that top pocket. And this is exactly what's happened on the first two breaks. And even if he does take yellows, look at that yellow. Maybe he has an opener on reds. Perhaps he can cut back the one in bulk. Or maybe he can get past the knuckle. I think he's just bending it. Yeah, he could take it off the. He could take it off of the yellow, off of the red. So now the problem is obviously the yellow just below the bulk line, nearest the black. I think he can get across and move it now if he wishes to. He does, and he's missed it. Now that's going to be a difficult ball to come back up and negotiate, because there's nothing that naturally links, and in fact, he hasn't got any shot here, I don't think. Unless that yellow passes between the two reds, but I don't think it does. So Tom Cousins, again, on a spot bother in this frame. No. I mean, he could play it off the red. I think that's the only shot he does have. Or a double. Oh, the cutback. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. To be honest, I didn't spot that one. Delightful. But still has that problem. Now, I wonder, could he leave an angle? I think he may be able to just punch this cue ball up. Yeah, so he's left a big angle on this yellow He's going to have to play this to middle, lots of side, swing the cue ball off the top cushion, and maybe. Even if you get the 8 ball here, you fancy a chance at. Yeah, if you get the 8, you still fancy a chance at the yellow. Well, he does have a shot. It's not an amazing shot, but he'll take it from where he was. These are fiddly. Hard to judge because you're so close to it. Cue ball's travelling. Oh, the cue ball's in off. Wow, that's a disaster. And this is the worst possible start for Tom Cousins. The worst possible start. You got to say that the luck in those first couple of frames hasn't been with Tom. The little kick on the cue ball to push it towards the top corner pockets both times has left him in trouble. It was a good effort there, but ultimately lost the cue ball. Gav just deciding it's one of those unusual times where there's nothing really you want to do with your free shot. The table's all there for you. I mean, you know, some players may have considered developing that ball on the bottom cushion, but it just doesn't need it. All the balls are there, natural path from one to the other. He really is timing the cue ball well. That's he looks, well, it's easy to say it. He looks at home. I mean, he is at home. It's his home table, but he really does look like he's cueing well. Gavin is known as a very quick player, but he's just taken an extra few seconds here. He just knows how important these opening frames are to get off to the best possible start. He is definitely not taking his opponent lightly. Well, that's, I'm surprised. I mean, he's just come far enough, but I'm surprised he played it that way. I really am. He's played it with side, and it's kind of died off the top cushion, and that could have really gone wrong. If that cue ball pulled up another 2 inches short, he really didn't have much of a shot there. That was dangerous playing it that way. I'm surprised he didn't just naturally come up and down the table and leave it down into the bottom left pocket, but it was effective. It's 8-0. Tom Cousins already looking down the barrel of 8-frame deficit. Well, definitely not the start he wanted, but from his perspective, well, he has to think in his mind, can he win 25-15, 25-16? The answer is yes, he probably can. So it's a lot harder task, and this is how starts can really go against you sometimes. Look at that. So there's the difference there. There's the difference in a bit of fortune. So that cue ball was tracking straight towards the top left corner pocket. Look at this, heading straight towards that pocket. Maybe just would have caught the rail just before the pocket, but it got kicked out, and we'll never know. And it got kicked right into the heart of the table. And again, look at this for an opportunity. The yellows look very good. There's just that one yellow on the right hand side cushion, but even that, I'm not convinced that you can't get to the potting angle of that ball. If you were somewhere around about where the 8 ball is, you may just be able to find the potting angle. So these may all be there. The opener that's a touch tricky. I know he's got the yellow to top right, but the red is right in the path of the cue ball. So it looks like he's going to open up with a plant, and that's so if you can't get to the potting angle of that yellow, he's got a great angle now to screw off the cushion and come behind it. And that was a great option about having that plant, because he can leave the ball at the top of the table as his backup. So if it goes wrong, he's still got that ball as his get out. And now suddenly everything's there. May feel a little bit hard done by. It could have come out a bit better than it is. This is a tricky little cutback. But the way he's playing, he just doesn't look like missing anything. No. He's got the yellow nearest the 8 ball spot to left centre. Made that look really easy. This really is top drawer from Gav Robinson. That is 9 frames to 0. The start that dreams are made of for Gav Robinson, but an absolute nightmare for Tom Cousins. And to pile a bit more onto Tom, that's a dry break. messy table. A messy table. Lots of work to do here. So just to reiterate what I was saying earlier, we're currently live on YouTube, but after this frame we will be closing down the YouTube stream and you will be able to watch the rest of this match. It's free of charge. You will not be charged a penny, but you will need to go across to the Beard Productions ppv.com site. So follow that link, Beard Productions PPV. It's on my Facebook if you wish to follow it from there. Beard Productions ppv.com, and you will be able to watch the rest of the match completely free of charge. There's no charge for this game. I think when you go onto the page it says something like buy now, but you can just skip through that, register an account, and you will be able to watch this game free of charge. So as I say, after this game, after this frame